Today, I'm going to do a series of 5 little mini 5x5 panels. These will be some fun France and Italy landscapes. Just going to make sure the stream is live and it's good and the chat is up. Yeah, you guys are all set to watch the fun here. These are available through Abend Gallery. Feel free to message them if you'd like some info on these pieces. Let's see, let's start with, where's my nickel azo yellow? I'm going to jump onto Instagram in a second as well here, once I get these started. Starting with a little coat of acrylic first. I love this color. Oop, battery for the old telephone. And I got all these cameras in my face here, so apologize for that. Basically going to be switching back and forth between oil and acrylic several times today. Come on. Until my sprayer's going. So I have 2 different palettes today that I'm using. There we go. And I've got the old trusty heat gun just to dry these quicker in between. Oops. And of course this cord for my battery is like right here. I don't know if I can move that out of the way so it's not totally in my face. Maybe I can. There's so many cords and cameras and things dangling everywhere, it's really hard to see what's going on. I'm just going to move this over here real quick. That's going to be in the way of the palette. There we go, that'll work. I hope. Okay, that should work better. Anyway, what was I doing? Going to put some fun phthalo green on here. I always like doing these cool little acrylic underpaintings. These are super fun. And now this cord is, oh I see, because I have this thing resting on my easel which is now shaking. So hopefully it's not too annoying that... Oh, the technical considerations when trying to do live streaming, seriously. Okay, we'll let that dry for a second while I figure out another solution for this cable. I just have to have my phone being charged while it's streaming. There we go, that should work. That's better. Okay. I definitely want that a little more blue. Let's try a new color I bought, manganese blue. I bought it for an entirely different purpose other than these paintings, but it's still a pretty color. And maybe some white. Oh, a heat gun on the paint. Have any long-term effects? No, I'm not blasting the paint enough to melt it or change its molecular consistency or anything. Just literally to evaporate the water in like seconds rather than minutes. Occasionally I'll sort of not pay attention to what I'm doing, and I've actually accidentally melted the surface of the panel before, which is, not my goal with that. It's just to dry it real quick. And incidentally, there should be a link in your description there to buy these images, to buy these paintings. These are all available through a Bend gallery. And I want that a little darker. Let's do a little bit of purple here for this landy land that's going to happen here. It's going to be a fun little French coastline scene. And I think it is named appropriately on a Ben's site. I think it's called France Coastline 1, or just France Coastline. I think that's the only one I'm doing. Okay, let's blast this again. And once I get this underpainting done, I'll start the Instagram feed. I've discovered that people in general don't like watching the underpainting. They kind of want to see the painting mostly when it's like 75% finished to the end. Most people don't like watching it from a white panel. So I'll try to limit that as much as I can. I mean, I can only paint so fast, right? And it does have to start from something, from blank at some point. Yeah, this using the heat gun is kind of like putting it out in the sun to dry for a few minutes. Just speeds up this process. Kind of like when I turn the fan on my paintings when they're larger pieces. The heat gun's just too small, so it doesn't really do anything. Come on, water sprayer, really? These things are just such junk. They die so quickly. It's just like spurting water. It's not really even spraying anymore. Let's see if I can do some more blue, green, white. I don't need that much paint. And this stuff tends to dry a little less, a little transparent. Acrylic is never the color that you lay down after it dries. Kind of dissipates a little bit. There's a little island. Want some sky happening. There we go. Nice. Just sort of carving away. That's a little more flat. Perfect. As I make a mess all over the place. Just, Jesus, there's just paint that's coming from somewhere and I can't figure out where. Just par for the course for me, though. Every bit of clothing I own has paint all over it. People shouldn't really even bother when they say, "What happened to your shirt?" What is that? It's only one thing it can be, and it's paint. Come on, stupid thing. Spraying my water. It's just sort of like falling out of the front. Okay, time to switch. This is drying a little bit while I'm switching. And here comes the big one. Let's do a little more heat gun just to make sure that's nice and dry. We're going to get the oil stuff moved over. Brushes for this one. This is very tiny. Nice. Okay. Throw a little bit of oil on here. Just to slick the surface up. Probably could have made that. Oh, that's okay. That's light enough, I think. Okay, I'll start the bend stream now. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Christopher Clark here doing a fun little landscape. This is a little France painting. I got a series of little mini 5x5 paintings to do today. So we're going to get started. This is kind of almost a greenish colored cloud here. And these are available through Abandoned Gallery if you guys want to contact them for purchase. And then we're going to have, that's going to fade to a lighter blue, which will be a little bit of that, a little bit of that. It's actually a pretty rich, deep blue color. There we go. Put a touch of green in there. Do a little more of this cloud. It's going to be a little of this kind of orange color in this transition. And there's the horizon down there. Yeah, this kind of makes a little bit of a pinky orange. Just as a nice transition color. And a little green in some places. Yeah, what color is that? Kind of, it's not as light. It's not the same color as the sky, but is a little kind of a bluish. Little bit of pink, a little bit of green. A little lighter. Just trying to make some subtlety in these clouds here. Cool. And those will read better when I have the building in place. Let's see here now. This building has a nice, very dark silhouette. I'm going to do this building first, I think, maybe. I'll do a touch of this. All the paintings today are going to be like a water sort of theme. I have one hair in my face. So you guys watching on Instagram can't see the face cam, so you have no idea what I'm talking about there. This might come in a little more. Here's a nice, shiny, watery horizon. And that water is going to be a little more green. Let's do some distant mountains in the horizon. Landscape, whatever. And this is not straight. And some of these paintings that I do for these, I end up going on to doing a larger version because they're really nice. This is kind of a trial run, even a little study. If I like how it comes out, I can do a bigger one. This one is so teeny, I know. Yeah, these are going to be all 5x5 paintings today. Alright, that's going to be kind of a dark bluish orange pink. A little more blue maybe. It's a little, yeah, should be alright. Kind of a, it's too red, it needs to be more blue. A little bit of perspective there. And another little bit. And I can come at it from both sides here. This is for a particular show they were doing. That's a special small painting show. And they have these little 5x5 panels that they use a lot. So they provided me with these. And that's how I'm painting them. It's like a chateau on the seaside or something. And we're going to see a little bit of this light coming through here. There. And there, which means all the little teeny brushes today. Which means that's going to be a fun, intense kind of orange purple. Maybe a little more of a greenish color, actually. because of the color of this light. I just need to show this sort of glow around this area. These kind of little juicy color numbers can really sell the piece. It's like, oh, that's the best part of the whole painting, is this whole bit of light. The tiny ones are fun because they're so quick. They're little fun little studies that come and go so fast. They're very little commitment as far as a concept. I don't have to like spend a long time figuring out some difficult concept to paint. Or time spent on a painting. They just sort of come together. Fill in that a little bit, and then it gets really green here because of the light coming off the water. And lighter. This glow right here is going to be really important. There actually will be a little bit of glow, a little less green though, a little more purple on the top. Sort of this color, but a little more. Sort of around the edges. And maybe this is a little touch further away. Blend that. And we can go kind of like that. Can use this to show some architectural details even. And then we can do some tiny little guys that are maybe some windows. Just a little darker. This paint is actually a little too dark, but I'm going to mix it with the colors that are on there. And what I can do is I can use my bigger brush. And we'll make some trees. This is real implied because it's such a a silhouetted kind of thing. Can I introduce myself? Oh yeah, I'm Christopher Clark. Been painting with a bend for I don't know, about 6 or 8 months now. Sorry, I made a little title on my Instagram stream, but clearly it didn't take. But I'll be posting these on their page later, so you can see them. And these are available through them, so just message the gallery if you're interested in buying these. I'm doing 5 of them today, if I have time. I have someone coming for dinner at like 6:30 or something. We can do a little tiny palm tree. We'll do this a little bit orange. Little tiny palm tree. I like that. We'll do one over here too. Some foliage. Okay. Now, it's funny, the painting moves along so quickly because it's just so tiny. A part that might take me hours otherwise takes me minutes here. So I kind of move through my brushes really quickly too. Alright, this is going to be really the hottest blue I can get. Yeah, which is mainly phthalo green and white. Because there's going to be some great light on this. And a couple rocks there. Yeah, this is a water day. All my scenes are going to feature water. Because that's just fun. Way too dark. It's funny, usually when I mix a color, I got to spend a little more time with it before I have to move on and mix another one, but not today. A little bit of a wave there. And then that gets to be a lovely darker, kind of a little more of a earthy blue. Little lighter. And let's hit that with some really nice white with a touch of yellow in it. And this is going to define this shadow of this island here. In fact, I might want to do the old palette knife. a little better. That's a little too much yellow. And these are these little 5x5 Artifacts panels. Artifacts is the name of the company that makes them. And I added some gesso on them before I started. I added a layer. And this is the old Bob Ross palette knife, actually. I love this thing. Couple big chunks out here. And I can do this foam down here, which is nice. The hearts are flowing. All right, thanks, guys. Now there's a bit of rock, which is nice. This is where we get some final foreground here. Something dark to hang on to. It's got a little bit of that on it. It's not super dark. And right next to the spray, it's even a little lighter. It's getting some of that ambient sort of atmospheric light quality. With maybe a little bit darker in the corners. Okay, this could be a nice. Here's sort of the color of this land, which even this is tinted a little green. Let's see if I can use the old palette knife again here. Get some of that rocky quality. And right by the water, let's get this real light. A little more green. Like how you can just sort of scratch in some bits, and I like to let the texture and the paint do the work for me if I can. Couple of shinies in here because it's wet. This is the south coast of France, if anybody's wondering. Nice atmospheric, kind of glowy painting. Let me just separate a couple of these that are a little too vertical. It's better. Okay, let's look at this one. These finish so quickly, this one might be done. Which means I can start the second one. If you all don't mind. I think I'm going to change the color of this glow coming through here. I want it more green. It's too yellow. It's like to have a fire or a lamp on or something. I'd rather it be like daylight. I want it to be glow from the daylight coming through there, not necessarily like something else. I don't know. I can soften that just a little bit. Like these are little windows. That's better. That looks a little more like this green daylight. Just needed to sort of blend that yellow out of there. Gotta have a little light diffraction, you know? Might be a little less here. These little subtle things really make the whole painting. So the painting's like 90% done, and then you do a couple of these, like, oh wow, that's great. Okay, maybe I can add a touch of nice light to these clouds up here. Give some more texture to those. little more contrast or whatever. That's better. Yeah, those little tiny things make such a huge difference. And plus this is the horizon, so they would be much tinier. With my little tiny brush. Let's smooth out a couple of those little scallop shapes that I don't really like. Cool. Now I'm just gonna soften this edge just a little bit. Make your eyeballs go cross with some of these little tiny details. Let's say I'm going to soften those actually and do this. That's better. Now it's like a little glow around them. Okay. That one might be done. Cool, there's one. That one's going to be coast of southern France, or whatever it's called, I forget. But yeah, check out the link on your streaming page there, and if you want to see the link on where to buy these, they're available through a Bend gallery. Okay, it's time to move on to number 2. This one's going to be a chateau near Lake Annecy in France. Let's switch the palette here. Come back to my acrylic palette. Hey, my sprayer's working again. I would send this a picture to Dave, but my phone is being used to broadcast to Instagram, so I can't. Okay. This one's moving to here. And number 2 is coming up. Okay. I don't know how long Instagram has left. It only lets me do an hour at a time. That's probably not enough time for me to start this piece and finish it, so I guess I'll just keep, if it has me stop, I'll just keep going. I'll just do another one. This one I wanted to be purple. Kind of a different color theme for each of these. Okay, let's let this sit for a second. Hit it with the old heat gun. Just speed the drying time a little bit. Little chateau. And that, I see that. That's a tree. That's some foliage stuff. Let's soften that. So this is southish France, near the Alps. This is on Lake Annecy, which is just like a fairy tale, if anybody's ever heard of it or wanted to check it out. Let's hit this again. I'll just soften and break these up a little bit so they're not so hard. Once again, I'm Christopher Clark. If anyone hasn't ever seen me before, painting for Upend today. Christopher Clark Art is my hashtag if you want to look me up online. On Facebook or Instagram. And these paintings will all be available through Upend Gallery. might be good. Yeah, I think that's a good underpainting. I'll just let that dry a little bit more. And while I switch this out, you can keep your acrylics wet for a little bit if you just keep spraying them down. See how far I can get this one before Instagram kicks me off. I think I only got like another 15-20 minutes or so. Alright, this one's going to be purple. It's tough. It's a little different color palette than I was using on the last painting. That one was definitely green. This one's far more purple. Where's my, yeah, even my sky bluish kind of color. It's way more purple this time. All this green's got to go. Lighter than that. Faux show. Nice. Let's make it. Let's decide on that. We're going to do some nice perspective clouds. He wanted to make that more intense, but it's just making it too dark. There's some Alps in the distance there. And I've got a nice bright cloud color here. And this continues through here just a little bit. Lots of wispy, cloudy stuff happening over here. And I can leave a lot of this underpainting showing through because it's this fun purple color. But not enough to be distracting. I want it to add texture, not to distract the viewer. Then we'll make this just a little more kind of purplish for a nice horizon here. Mountainy things going on. And this will just about be the same color. Maybe a little darker. Not doing the water yet, but I can indicate that it's there. Alright, once again, mostly silhouette with a little bit of light. Let's find the light, I think. It's kind of a light orangish pink. There. A little further. And there. We're just sort of getting these walls that have a little bit of light on them. This was the Chateau d'Angles on the Lake Annecy. That looks like nothing right now. It doesn't make any sense until I fill in the rest of the scene here. I'm like looking at the feed. I'm like, wow, that looks terrible. No, I do have a reference. Somebody asked. I have a reference on my screen here, but I can't move the cameras over to show it. It's too hard to. Everything's set up too perfectly. I can't move anything. So I cannot show you guys that, unfortunately. Touch more yellow. I'm trying to make these rooftops now, so that'll put these in sort of a context. Little blue. Little more color. A little lighter for this other one. Little chimney, just for fun. And we actually will see a little bit of this. Somebody's loving this one. This will make way more sense once I fill it in a little bit. There's actually a little rooftop over here too. Okay, now I can do some of those trees. Let's find that value. It's not quite that dark. The trick is to know when is it too detailed and when is it just right. Oops, caught a little bit of that white there, it's all right. This is a little lighter than those trees. This is sort of this fun little tower or something. Also, to not paint it literally. This is not what I'm going for at all. And then we're going to have a little bit of a lighter purplish green, if there is such a thing. Little lighter, a little more green. As the sort of lighted side of some of these trees here. I also want to make sure this texture is not too distracting. It's a very small painting, so any little bit of relief from the texture might be too much. Where was my background color? Okay. This one wants to be a little lighter and just the slightest bit yellow. And then a little orangish as it turns this. I can make a little, what do you call those things? In a castle rooftop where the archers used to hide behind them. So now it's a little castle. Almost looks like it has a window in it. Didn't even do it. But speaking of windows, we'll just put one in. One right there. let's clean these up now. Let's make sure these have nice, sharp, crisp points. And this little guy has a little window or something right here. Well, even this brush, it's a tiny one, but it's getting old. And we'll do a chimney here. Little chateau. That's looking like a little chateau now. This is going to have an interesting... This needs to be the right color. It's not currently. Darker. That's going to be a really hot transitional color there. And then we need one here. There's a bush. Little tiny windows here and there. Oh, Instagram just ended. Let me share this real quick. Sorry guys, 1 second. As this keeps vibrating, sorry about that. Oh, I need to give my arm a quick break anyway. So I can do about 1.5 of these in the hour on Instagram. Okay, we're back. Setting this up again. Hopefully I don't drop it in my paint. And there we go. Beautiful. Back to our little chateau. These windows here will be a little more this sort of pink. And again, this painting is available through Abend Gallery, so hit them up if this is your cup of tea. If you'd like to own the original. Why is that not putting paint on? There we go. We want a little more of this visible. Maybe we'll see a little bit of this here as well, which I can add some transition stuff there later. And we want our dark greenish purple. This is going to be sort of this water line there, bushes and things. Now it gets nice and dark. And then also on Instagram, I pinned the comment there for my Instagram page if you guys want to follow me or just check out my other work, which is available through Abend Gallery, like this piece here. This one comes all the way to the water because that's fun. Let's make this. Boy, all my colors are purple on this one. A fun little bush. Maybe there's roses and things everywhere. That's way too intense. I got a little carried away with that. Thought that would be fun, but it's a little too much. It's just like completely different from the rest of the whole area. Maybe there's little red flowers everywhere. I'm also seeing when I look at the feed, the colors are a lot different than what I'm seeing in person. They're close. We need a little bit of break in this tree here. And then we can do some other colors in here. Maybe there's some other colors in these bushes here up front. Maybe we can do a little bit of a green even here. Let's move these a little further And then this is our roof color. It's continuing a little bit. Okay, now for some fun. A little bit of water. This could be a little less red, a little more green. Looks like we might have some light over here that we can't really see. Thanks guys for watching. This needs way more blue. It's too yellow. Now there we go, that's better. And this could be perfectly nice still water. Soften some of these a little bit. Hey, look at that. Just about came together here. This one might be done. These little ones just come together so quickly. Get rid of some of this detail that's a little, or the relief of this textured surface. Here's what I'm going to do is put some details in the distance on this little distant shore here. So it's almost like some little houses and stuff out there. All right, let's just look here. Any transitional color I want to put in here? Yes. A lovely pinkish. Kind of a little glow there. Just touching little details here. Yeah, that could be good. I always say that and then I keep noodling because it's fun. A little more indications of some of those ripples on the water, I guess. This needs to be a darker shadow underneath here, just a touch. There we go. And then this one maybe is a little too dark. All right, let's stand back and look at this one before I finish it off. Yeah, I like it. I can soften some of these ripples a little bit, just using the back of the brush. There we go. Little tiny chateau. Number 2 painting for today. Once again, these are available through Abend Gallery. Okay, this one's going to be tough. Matt Hodel, you do great work, Mr. Chris. Thanks very much, Mr. Matt. This one's going to be a lot more orange. This is a Paris night scene. Now this is going to be a tough one. Okay, let's clear off some space here on my acrylic palette. Clear off some of this purple that I'm not going to use right now. So if you're watching on anything other than Instagram, there should be in the description a link where you can buy these paintings up front. These are for a show. We're doing a little miniature painting show, but these are available now as kind of a pre-sale thing, just because you guys are watching it live. So you can grab these before the general public on this show we're doing. So check that out, or if you're on Instagram, you can message Abend Gallery. Oh, these are being sold through. Okay, say goodbye, little chateau. As I try to get it and not drop it in my paint. Okay, number 3. This one's got a little scratch in it. That's okay, I'm going to paint right over that. One of these days this easel is just going to give out. Me and old Pablo here have been through a lot together. I would like some transparent yellow iron oxide. And those blues and purples might be alright, actually. This one's going to be a tough one. Just quite a detailed piece for such a small little This is the part that usually no one likes to watch because it's like, what is that? It's nothing. It's a blank white panel. Like, don't worry. It'll be awesome. Give me a few minutes. Give me like 10 minutes. It'll be amazing. This is going to be a nighttime Paris scene. Yeah, let's just block this in now. This is going to be a bridge. I forget which bridge. I could probably look it up. Before I heat gun blast this, let's just soften that edge a little bit. Okay, do that before I peel away all my paint. Blasting this with a heat gun real quick. Can't get it too close or I will literally melt the surface of the piece, but this is just super quick to let the water evaporate. Yeah, it just dries it on there real good, real quick. I need another color. Let's do ultramarine. These things get stuck on there really good. This actually is going to get quite dark. This night sky and this purple sort of water down here. It's not sort of water, it is water, but the water that is sort of purple. Right there is about where that separates. I'm trying to set up for these lights now. And there's a building. Now the trick is to keep these soft which is really hard with acrylic. Acrylic does not like soft edges at all. Let's just... I'm just layering in this transparent color and also trying to not peel off my paint that is not fully dry yet. Okay, let's hit that again real quick. It's so satisfying to watch the paint move. Oh, that's a fun way to put it. The paint just moves. Alright, this one's almost done as far as an underpaint goes. I just like to bring it to a certain point. There's a little perspective there for you. The darks I like to make just about as dark as I'm going to have them in the painting. It's just the way I roll. Kind of a fun process that I've set up over the years. Which has taken me years to figure out how to do this. Put a little more in there. And then this gets a little darker down here too. Gotta soften some of these cracks and it might be a little distracting. Starting to look like a little bridge. Awesome. That might do well as an underpainting. Yeah. Let's get rid of these then. This is a heavy palette to carry with one hand at the very edge like that. Sorry to bump the camera. We just gotta. There we go. Just nestle on in there. Of course, as I get paint all over my fingers, it's pretty difficult for me. Let's heat gun this just a little more. Make sure that's solid on there before I move. Okay, that's good. Do a little bit of this just to lube up the surface there. I guess that's not totally bone dry. This is like painting wet on wet now. Helps the paint glide around a little easier. Yeah, just so it's a little oily. Much more orange piece today. But I can still sort of use some of these colors that are chilling here. Let's set up this bridge. All my brushes are all purple. I gotta change that. Add a little bit of medium to that. And that could be a little darker. And then this gets a little lighter as it's further away. Those are little reflections on the ground. Thank you, Shan Fannin. Alright, what is that? That's kind of this. We can extend this up just a little bit. And then this is lighter here. And these all seem to get, oops, sorry, I hit the cord with my brush. These all seem to get lighter just on the inside of that. Sorry about that. This is in Paris. although my friend actually took the picture. This is over the Seine River, which is like the main river running right through Paris. Kind of gets lighter on the inside of that bit there on each one as it kind of cuts over. Little bit of reflections. Yeah, this is going to be a tough piece. Keep saying that because it's true. Gotta keep hitting the cord. Sorry, let's move this out of the way. That fell off. That's better. So many things hanging in my face and in my way. There's sort of a bridge top that comes like that. And maybe here and there it comes down. And up here, there's brighter than that. And a little more orange. There's sort of a I don't have any yellow. Let's just use this blue one. I have a fistful of brushes here. If anybody ever wonders what I'm doing with those. Alright, I need to make some super hot glow inside where these lights are. As these lights get further away, there we go. Now there's some lights on that bridge. Now for the actual center of these lights. I suppose I could do that bluish sky now. Just wash off a brush here. Now that is going to be this really nice blue. Really strong. Probably stronger than I can make it on my palette here. I encounter some colors now and then. I'm like, I can't mix that color. That's stronger than anything I've got. Hi guys, thanks for watching there. Incidentally, again, these paintings are available from a Bend gallery. You can message Dave over there and he'll hook you up with these pieces. They're doing a sort of a miniature painting show coming up here soon. These need to be a little more pink maybe, and a little lighter. Here's where I can carve this a little better. This was my sort of dark greenish, brownish brush. Not anymore. I gotta maybe show a little bit of these archways here. Otherwise it's hard to tell what this object is. Now we can do a little light on these guys up here. I gotta paint and scrape at the same time. One brush stroke at a time. So I can't mix with that blue that's there. Okay. If anyone's familiar with my work, you know that night cityscapes are kind of one of my specialty. Okay. Now let's do some of this distant, whatever this is back here. Sort of a thing that connects that. And we got some lights along the city over here. Some lights on the windows here. That is Paris, you're right. Somebody recognized it. It's the Seine River, I forget which bridge. But one of the ones that crosses the river there. Put some lights on up here. Looks like there was a boat about to go underneath the bridge, but I'm not going to paint the boat. It's too much and it doesn't really read very well. We can just paint the city over there on the other side of the bridge. That will be fine. Ça suffit. Je suis en train d'apprendre le français, mais c'est une langue très difficile. Jusqu'à quoi? Jusqu'à maintenant, je suis seulement en lire des livres. Je n'ai pas beaucoup de pratique avec parler à quelqu'un. Malheureusement, seulement de lire. Mais pour le moment, il faut que ça suffise. This one where Jack and Nicholson and Diane Keaton at the end of Someone's Gotta Give. C'est pas difficile du tout. Tu peux parler avec moi. Favor. On commence maintenant. Tu parles très bien. Je sais que je parle comme un vache espagnol. Ne raconte de bêtises. This one's got some great reflections coming down. I love water and nighttime scenes. That's why I love, a lot of times I'll paint my street scenes with wet streets, whether they have them or not, just because, it's such a great opportunity to do these reflections on the water. Qu'est-ce que tu peux... Je suis toujours apprendre comment faire un blague en français. Here are these lights for the bridge. There's sort of this growing on the perspective line mass of light. And then we get a couple of little rogue splashes of light here and there. Now I suppose I could do a little bit of color here. It doesn't need it terribly. That underpainting works quite nicely. But let's do a little bit of this blue. Just to give a little more variety of color in there. Got to do a little bit of this light coming through each section of this bridge. Okay, and let's do a little more of this. Yeah, let's do a little brighter here. This one's almost done. Just because these ones got to be nice and bright. And sharp. Cool, that's fun. Little French scene. Little Paris nighttime action. Okay, these could be a little less so linear. Soften them a little bit. Okay, that's fun. So it might be done. Alright, getting close anyway. I'll bring these a little up higher. That's better. Okay. Ooh, I think that one might be done. That's a nice looking painting. I always say that, and then I just notice things. That's a little too dark there. So these fun little guys are available from Abend Gallery. You can message Dave over there, whatever streaming service you're on, you're watching this from. Just they'll be expecting it, so go ahead and hit them up, and then or if there's a link there where you're watching, just go ahead and message him from there. Little tiny posts for those. Okay, Paris. Done. There's 3. All right. All right, I will end this Instagram video and start another one in a few minutes, and then I can do the last 2 paintings. Whew, so thanks for watching, Instagrammers. Everyone else stay put. I'm not leaving. So Instagram will be right back. How do my camera holder is blocking the screen. There we go. Okay, beautiful. There it is. So we'll see you guys again in a few minutes on Instagram. Let me do a quick post on this. Okay. Ooh, let's take a quick little stretch. It's been about 2 hours. I'll change over my palette here. Yeah, these little fun ones are cool little studies to do. Some of the ones that are my favorite, I take and then do larger versions of them. One of these I did a France cityscape thing. I turned it into a 45 by 60 size painting. So it ended up being went from a 5 by 5 to this enormous piece. Okay, let's just stand up real quick and stretch. Ooh. Gotta stretch out. Oh man. If you're painting and you're not constantly stretching, you will have problems. Okay. Let me take a quick other break, get some more water. I'll be right back. Okay. Let's look at painting number 4. It's going to be an Italian scene, finally. This will be fun. This will be an Italian coast scene. Okay. Well, what colors do I want for this one? Yeah, I could probably use what I got here. Let's move this one without dropping it in the paint. Throw it aside there. 2 more. Good. Okay, let's get this one going. This is going to be green. This is another green painting for sure. Is it a green, purple? Oop. Make sure I don't accidentally put mineral spirits on this one. Yeah, sort of this yellow green. Oh, this one's got such a great sky in it. I want to do this one as a bigger piece. I should. Fabulous sky. I love painting those clouds. Just use whatever chunks of paint floating around. Let's say that goes to there. Okay. And then real quick, blah blah blah, blast it. Oops. Almost untied my apron here. Let's tie this again. There we go. Let's mark where this one is a little bit. There's a building right there. Another one right there. There. And then there's a tree. Actually, it comes over a little in more. That tree is like that. Okay. little bit of that, sort of brownish. And it gets more purple at the bottom. Definitely, again, a nice silhouette. All right, let's blast that again with some heat. We'll make that tree come up a little higher. There we go. Let's make that one still darker. Darker still. Kind of a dark greenish, but with a little bit of yellow in there. Okay, maybe we can forget the green. That's killing it. And not that dark. Little bit of white to bring out the purpley quality there. A little bit of water. This is all shadow back here, except for this tree. We will use some of this green for this tree right here. Now I need to make this, I need to carve out this light where it's supposed to be. Because this is the lightest part of the whole painting. I need that to be light now. Just a little sliver of light. And then up there. Bright up there too. I guess those two parts are both the brightest part of the whole painting. I just can't have this building sticking out with that edge, that corner. And make sure that's straight. Alright, that's better. Yay, little fun horizon with little fun Italian buildings there. Just smooth that out a little bit. Ooh, that's hot. Ooh. I grabbed my heat gun by the metal thing instead of the plastic casing. It's hot. It is hot, hot, hot. That might be a done underpainting. That white takes a little bit longer to dry. White always takes the longest to dry out of any medium for some reason. I think titanium. I use titanium white, so that's what it is. That feels pretty good. I'll let that sit there and cook for a few minutes. It's still hot, so it's still helping it to dry. Oil. All right. Nice. Let's clear off. Maybe we were okay with this for now. No, you don't. I got an awful lot of pink and purple. I don't need those yet. It's hard. Every little painting is a completely different color palette. Different color sort of motif. So I've got to prepare for that every time. We'll do a little bit of this action. Lube it up. And just make sure it's mostly off of there. I just want it to be a little oily. Let's clean out my white. I'm definitely going to need that color. That's really dirty right now. Let's just get rid of this. I keep trying to save it. Maybe I can use it, but it's like just, I don't know if I'm really going to need any of those colors exactly as they are. Okay. Fistful of brushes here. This is definitely going to need to be light and greenish, yellowish mostly. This part here. Let's find that water line. I'm going to get this one going a little bit and then turn on the Instagram, so hopefully within an hour I have enough time to finish this one and the last one. Because they only limit your broadcast to an hour, because it's kind of dumb. Okay, just needed to find that water line. Oh, such great clouds in this piece. That comes down there. And let's find that next color down, which is this great greenish. Oh, this has way too much yellow in it. That won't work. All right, let's get a new brush. Color is almost already there. That's why I did it. Yeah, I kind of want to paint this scene bigger just to play with these clouds. There is a bit of yellow-green. As a transitional color here. So I took this picture, geez, about 7 years ago, in this town called Sirmione in Italy. Beautiful little town by a lake, Lake Sirmione. Right, this becomes more green now, but still a lot of yellow in it. And still lighter. Green. Let's nail some of these clouds in a little better. it's so bright. It's like these colors, I can't mix them. There's no paint equivalent of some of these beautiful bright colors. What are you gonna do? Now it's this kind of turns into this sort of, this color becomes more blue. A little bit of purple in it, and much, much brighter in value there. And it's this kind of orange, almost orangey pink around the edges here. And just freaking way lighter. Still lighter. And even this shadow is like this cloud is casting a shadow here. There's a little bit of like a coastline far away, like an island or something, but I'm going to ignore it because I don't have enough room to really make it read. So we're just going to say nope. And there's that tree that's right there in the foreground. These clouds just don't nearly read as well on the camera as they do in real life. They're so tiny, sure, but and then here's this sliver of light. And this is going to need to be green right here. Just to show some of that light. And then it's going to be more orange over here. And way brighter than that. Yeah, as it moves away from this green, it gets lighter. Kind of does that here too in this reflection. And then this ocean is a great, I guess I did have a blue here, I didn't need to use this like that. Light green. Lighter than that even. bright blue ocean. I love it when light blue gets so light that it turns green. That's exciting. So I want to rub my eye and I have paint all over all my fingertips. Let's do a little more light in some of these clouds. It's fascinating to watch someone paint, but you'd like to see the photo I'm painting from. I can't move the cameras, unfortunately. It's just too much of a pain in the ass. It was hard to get them all set up. They're this close to my easel, which they never are. I have my phone attached to this thing also to go to Instagram. So I can't show the photo today. I do sometimes if I can just pan the camera over, but it's kind of tough right now. It took me like 15 minutes to get this set up so that it, was right, and it's still kind of in my way half the time, and it's just too hard. So unfortunately, I cannot. We can show some of these. That's going to be more of a red, pink. Some roofy tops there. And we'll see a little on this one. Just a nice, hot, transitional color. Couple little things sticking up here and there, chimneys and antennas and stuff, just kind of adds some interest. Now this starts to be a little bit more sort of that dirty red color. There will be a tree there. Now what color is that? Here's this rooftop. A little darker, a little more red. It needs to be a little less saturated red. A little more over here. There's some rooftops. There's a tree in this distance here. And this is where we get some fun, interesting color. Right here, this is great orange. Reflected light happening. A little bit there too, even. Those bits of juicy color that you gotta find and exploit. There's a couple sort of light. Come on, yellow ochre. My yellow ochre dries out so quick. I mean, it's a couple days old. It's not like I just put it out there today or anything. Alright, and then this is going to be once again some nice juicy color in some of these open shadows underneath here. Not loving these rooftop colors. They're too light. I have to darken these up. This still needs to be really hot next to that light. Could probably put some of this here. This is quite a detailed painting, actually. For being so tiny, it's got a lot of stuff going on. And then this gets nice and dark toward the bottom here. Make some winders. Some building right next to it there. That's totally the wrong brush. Which one was I looking for? This one, I think. Okay, hopefully that's making sense more now. That's making a lot more sense now. Yeah, sorry guys, I wish I could just turn the camera over, but it's not that easy, unfortunately. How do I make those reflections on that rooftop? That's a tough one. Couple little bits of light there. I think up here too, we'll do a little. This is a really tough painting. A lot of weird values in here. And there's a little window here. And there's another rooftop right there. All right, I think I can start the Instagram now. Give me 1 second. And let's do my comment. Pin comment. Why won't you pin the comment? Come on. There we go. Okay. Here's a little bit of rooftop here. Started this one at clearest to the end, so I could hopefully have time to do this one and the last one before that's it. I was just doing 5 today, so this one's maybe sort of almost done. So you guys could at least have a glimpse. We'll do a little tree there. Here's one tree, and there will be another closer one. Where's a greenish brush I can use? I suppose I can use this one. It's a little, I need to get that lighter and more yellow. The edge of this tree is going to be a little lighter in value. And a little bit of this down here. Come on, Viridian. Don't let me down. Tree down in the corner here. And then this. Hi there, Clartist. I'm working from a photo reference that I took myself. This is Italy in a little town called Sirmione, a cute little town by a lake. I cannot show you the photo because I can't turn my phone. It's set up on a thing. So just so I could point it at the painting. It's hard enough to get it set up like that. I can't really move it. So I keep getting requests to look at my reference. I'm like, sorry guys, I can't show it to you. All right, let's break up some of this a little bit. So this is about the tail end of this one. And then I will start my last one for the D, which will be another one from this same town, actually, a beautiful little coastal scene. I can do a little bit of that transitional color here. Just because Instagram only lets me do it for an hour, figured I could finish this one and do that other one, hopefully from start to finish. Beautiful Italian scene that might be almost finished, if not finished. It's hard to say. We'll make a little chimney right there with a cast shadow. That's why I wanted it. And here's a little detail. There could be a window right here on this building, or a couple. And you know what? There could be some trees over here, maybe. That are behind this building. This needs to be a little more defined. And then I could make that a little lighter. Getting a little hint of sun in that spot. And here as well. And maybe a couple bits up here to accentuate that nice cast shadow that I made. And maybe we'll get a touch. See these little details that are like the last 10% of the painting, 5% of the painting that are like the crucial ones. We're going to get a little bit of rim light on the edge of that rooftop. And whatever this is, maybe you can get a little light there too. Couple details on that one. There we go. This could be a little darker, some of these spots. Fun little Italian scene. All right, let's take a quick stretch and look at that and get ready for my other painting. Oh yeah, that's great. Noticing I could, that's where you got to stand up and take a look for a second. I could bring this building out a little more. Out there, and I wanted to make that darker too. This window. And I think this part of the roof. There we go. That's better. Okay. Thanks for letting us watch. Yeah, sure, Bill. Thanks for watching. Okay, time for the last one. Last one, home stretch. Just doing 5 today. These are available through a Bend Gallery. They have listings for them all online. Just click on the link on the screen you're watching on, the video window. And if you're on Instagram, just message Dave. We'll be posting these online when they're done. But they are for sale now if you want to get in on a pre-sale before we open it up to the public, before we like actively advertise. These are going in a special little miniature piece show. So if you want to get them before the show, then you're welcome. Okay, last one. Okay, say goodbye to this one. I can put it here without dropping it on the floor. And the last one. This one's got some chunks of gesso sticking off the side. We'll fix that later. Okay. Gotten real good at switching these over real quick. So now I'm going to use acrylic again. This one's going to be another green piece. Just kind of a fun theme of the day. Greenish, yellow. Get some, some Nicolazo yellow in there. It's a great color. And a little bit more green at the bottom here. All right, where is this? That is right in the center. So you guys are watching what appears to be most people's least favorite part of the painting, when it doesn't really look like anything. I think it's really exciting to see a painting from start to finish, but a lot of people are like, I'll tune in later when it looks like something fun. Heat gun. Ooh. It's hard work just like hunching over a little tiny thing like this for like 6 hours. Just hard on your back and your shoulders. Alright, let's do a little greenish, bluish, purple something for some of this distant action here. A little more yellow. Comes up like this to, it goes right to the horizon. And then it comes up here for some tree action. Alright, it gets a little lighter. And then here it becomes nice and dark and purple. as we get to this little coastline. Lots of fun texture there. This is why I do this method, so that the texture remains visible. Let's see, I can push that around a little bit. Without pulling it up, I hope. Let me just soften some of these edges a little bit while it's still wet. While you still can. There's a little castle head right here. Here's another little bit right there. House. Tree. And this gets a little darker, but I need to let that dry first, which is what I got the heat gun for. This thing is great. It's still wet. It's tempting just to put the heat gun right next to it, but then that'll melt the whole thing, which I've done before. I have blisters and bubbles that just are up. And if I don't let it dry properly, it'll just skin over and then peel off later. It's getting better. This whole bit of water could be a little darker and a little more blue. It's going to be a fun little rocky bit of coast there. Let's just blend that a little better. And let's take some white and make sure that some of these shapes are chiseled out. White and a little yellow. That's way too much yellow. That's a little better. Beautiful. That'll do. That'll do, donkey. That'll do. Let's move some easel palettes. my stuff. This one might take an extra second to dry. That's looking pretty good. You can tell it's like barely skinned over. If I pulled it too hard, it would come right off. That's better. This one again has some really fun colors in the clouds here. I need some more white. Okay, let's see if I can finish this one before Instagram ends. I wasn't watching when I started it, so I have no idea when it started, how much time I have left. But if you're watching on Instagram and it ends, before I finish the painting, just follow Upend Gallery and you'll see it on their site later. As soon as we get some images of these, probably today. Fun little trees here, little like Italian cypress trees. Gets a little more yellow, yellowish green. Here gets a little pink there. Way lighter in value though. Just toward the end. And here's my blue. Which is actually going to be green up here. It's so light. Let's bring that greenish back. Or let's see, I can do a little bit of got a little bit of orange there. Little whisper of like a pink. Love painting fun clouds. It's funny, I love painting clouds, but I've never been able to make a painting that's just clouds and really have it sit the way I want. Clouds need a foreground, I feel like. They need a subject to frame. Clouds by themselves never just seem to really work for me. Alright, let's start from the distant and work backward. There's some distant things here. Buildings and stuff. And now we're going to get closer to what could be this color. Just selecting a brush from my arsenal. Way lighter and way more, oh, this is way more blue, yeah. There's a building here. These are mostly silhouettes because they're so far away. Yeah, today is a water theme. All 5 of these paintings have all been scenes taking place over water, because that just seemed like a fun idea. Because water is life, right? Here's this little castle guy. Little tiny architectural details really make a difference. So I had to come back there with the sky color and chisel those out. Now this becomes green, purple. Another building or so. Tree. Oops. Hit the cord with my paintbrush. Sorry about that. Becomes greenish purple. Nice cypress tree. Maybe there's another one right there. Last one. Last tree. Maybe there's another little tree in there somewhere. And this becomes this dark greenish purple. Okay, let's come back in. Let's do a little tiny brush. Do I have any that's that color? No, not at all. There's a this one looks like it has a window through it. And of course I need that color again, and I don't have it. Shit. There we go. Distant castle, done. And there looks like there's some subtle sort of things happening here with trees and stuff. Let's see if I can do that. Yeah, real subtle. Some of these trees have a nice bit of green on this side as you're getting hit with sun. Maybe there's even one right here that's got a lovely bit of green on it. Okay, now let's get into some of this water, which is about the same color as the sky, which means it needs to start, but it's a little lighter. Start pink and move green, yellow. Nice and yellow here. And then blue. And that blue gets a little more green toward the bottom here. A little bit of a shoreline modeled in here. There'll be some rocks and things in there. La la la. Little bit of a fun reflection there. little bit of reflection on the water. Okay. Hi there, Repin Gallery. Thanks for watching. Alright, this needs to be more of a bluish green down here as this continues just a little farther in. There'll be some fun rocks and things. Whew. Now rocks. Purple, just to fill this in a bit. It's great. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it. And there's actually some sort of mossy stones here. They opened up for the rolling stones once. The mossy stones. That's a total dad joke, I know. I'm not even a dad, but my dad made good ones, so I was trained early. Alright, now I need some really good rock color, but just lots of it. I just need a lot of paint here. Okay, and incidentally, these paintings are available for sale through Abend Gallery. They're doing a little miniature painting show coming up pretty soon. I think this show is sponsored by Artifacts. That's a company that makes art supplies and such. This is one of their panels that I'm painting on. It's a little tiny, like aluminum braced, really sturdy panel. And they offered me some panels to do some paintings on, so that's what I'm doing. And these come all the way up here. Let's make that a little more horizontal. This one's nearing being finished, which is good because Instagram might end soon. At any minute, it's hard to tell. I never know. Let's cover up some of these textures that are a little too distracting, maybe. Let's see if we can't make maybe some more definitive rocks down here. So Instagrammers, if my video ends before I'm done, thank you for watching, and then just check back on Abend's channel, maybe later today even. We can have these finished paintings posted, and you can message Dave at Abend if you'd like to purchase. All the other streaming channels I'm doing here, I of course have all the time I want, so you'll get to definitely see the end. We'll do some rock action here. Couple more floating out there. Awesome. It's looking good. Yeah, fun little Italian lake scene. So these listings are available online. Just check out the link there in your streaming window. There's no pictures for them yet because, of course, I hadn't painted them yet. So we did what we could. There's a picture of me, I think, going, with my brush in front of the empty blank palette. Or panel, I mean. Okay, this one might be finished. I always say that, and then I find other things I want to play with, but that's just how it goes. Yeah, I like how the rocks kind of have this curve, little perspective action going there. Oh, what a beautiful little place this was. That makes me want to go back, revisiting these. This was a town called Sirmione. 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 Let's do a little bit of... So I can do it with this brush. A little more castle action. That's fun. It's like a little fairy tale now. Looks like you use a limited palette. No, I've got a full palette here. I just figured it out well enough where I can look like I'm using a limited palette, but it's got a whole lot of subtlety in there. I use white, cad lemon, yellow ochre, nickel azo yellow, cad orange, transparent brown oxide, transparent red oxide, cad yellow medium, alizarin crimson, Egyptian violet, ultramarine blue, phthalo blue, viridian green, and phthalo green. I got a crap ton of colors on here, but I'm glad you think I'm using a limited palette. That's my idea. I want it to look like a subtle, muted palette, but there's so much subtlety in there because of all the colors that I'm using that I couldn't get if I was using a limited palette. You do miss something, and I am familiar with the limited palettes. I learned how to paint on the Zorn palette, which is just white, yellow ochre, black, and then some kind of red, alizarin crimson or cad red or vermilion or whatever. So I did 100 paintings at least on that limited 4-color palette. So I'm very familiar with how to use a limited palette, and then I slowly actually started expanding from that to arrive at the palette I have right now. So just looking at this thing now that I'm done and got a few seconds. So incidentally, yeah, please follow us on whatever stream you're watching if you like more of these videos. I do this once or twice a week. The next one of the next things I'm doing actually for my streaming is I'm actually going to do some sort of Disney themed pieces. They're going to be some of the Disney animal sidekicks, like a lobster that might be from Little Mermaid, and a chameleon that may or may not be from a Rapunzel type movie. So that's kind of my next thing. So I do paint some pop culture as well. I'm trying to see if there's anything else I want to do to this thing. I mean, I could maybe try to add some little subtle windows to the castle. Kind of just playing now at this point. It's so small and so far away. If you want to do a silhouette, it's nice to do some really subtle details on them, but don't push that value. That value is like a solid silhouette and it works so well. Yeah, I can do some tiny little subtle things here. That's way too dark. See, it's so subtle. It's okay, I can smush those. It's like they never happened. Some of these windows I could even take back a little bit. Take it right back. Ooh, I know. Let's put a little tiny flag. Gotta do the sound effect of the wind. Little tiny flag on top of that. That's kind of fun. Okay. I think I can call this one done. So, yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to end the Instagram video first, since that's timed anyway, so I'll come back here in a second. So, Instagrammers, yay, thank you for watching. I'm going to take this off. Maybe I can do a quick selfie shot here. There we go. Yay, you can see me now. And my hair is a big pile. So that you can see how tiny the painting is. There's how tiny it is. It's a 5x5, but it's in person. It looks like a fun little thing. So I did 5 of those today. So check out Instagram later. Follow Abend Gallery, and you can. Those are up for sale. I'm Christopher Clark. You can follow me at Christopher Clark Art on Instagram and Facebook. So awesome. So thanks, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time. End. Okay. Making this a quick post. There we go. Cool. So thanks for watching, guys. Maybe you guys get a recap, because it's a lot easier to do that. So you saw the one. Here's this one I did earlier. This fun little, this is Marseille in France. Did that one. Now's where I get paint all over my fingers because the edges have paint on them. Here's this one. This is France as well. This is a Chateau d'Ingue in Lake Annecy, if you want to know. Little chateau. I did this one just before this one. Here's a little tiny. This is the same town as this one. This is Sirmione in Italy. And then here's this one. This is Paris. This is that bridge, one of those bridges. So that's it. So 5 paintings in one little fun sitting. So click on the link there in your video window, the description. This they're all available for sale through Abend Gallery. You can follow me as well if you'd like. Christopher Clark Art is my Facebook and Instagram. All these will be posted online later. The link on the website is just a picture of me with a blank palette because we didn't have any pictures yet, because I have yet to do the painting. That's a problem we run into doing these live streams. They want a picture so they can have a listing online for people to click on. And I'm like, I don't know, there's no picture yet. I haven't done the painting. And I'm just going to post a photo of my reference. That's really dumb and tacky, I think. People don't want to buy a reference photo. They want to buy a painting. And even the reference photo isn't what I'm painting. It's not what the painting is going to look like. So that would be misleading and inaccurate. So that's a weird issue we're trying to figure out. Usually it's just a picture of me next to an empty palette, or an empty panel, saying, "Derp, come watch me paint." So you guys can feel free to ask some questions if you'd like in the chat window there. I can clean this up for a few seconds, a minute or whatever, and answer any questions. Whatever about the painting or about my painting habits or my favorite Harry Potter movie, you know, whatever you like. Just gotta clean up the edges of my painting here. And it's almost 5. I can go have a snack before dinner. My girlfriend's mom is coming over for dinner tonight, so we're cooking. Don't know what we're cooking. I made this fun little palette, or a paint holder thing, paint cleaner upper. It's nice to keep my paint from drying out when I just need to store it overnight or for a couple days. Oil paint lasts a while anyway, but you know, I might skin over or get hard if I leave it overnight. Or yeah, usually like some colors dry up more than others. But definitely keeps them fresh longer, which means I can feel safe putting out a giant pile of paint on the palette and not worry about wasting it. I can just put it away. I used to like try to put it back in the tube. That was fun. You can do it with a fresh tube. As it starts to get smushed and crushed, it doesn't work anymore. But I had figured out a way to gently work the paint back into the paint tube. That's when you're really a starving artist trying to save money. I'm like, I don't want to throw this paint away. You find thrifty ways to do things. I used to make a lot of my own art supplies. I still make a lot of my own tools. I have a cool easel that folds up and like fits in my car, and it sets up and I just sort of sits on my lap and has legs, so I can do drawings and stuff on it. Or usually I take it to like a life drawing session. I've made my own plein air kit with a panel holder. Just to go out and study light. Okay. Alright, if there's no questions, I'll go ahead and end the video then. Thank you guys for watching. It's been a good almost 4 hours. So, follow us to watch more videos. I'm doing, like I said, a not exactly, but sort of Disney session later. Is my next one. And my hair's getting long. I gotta trim that shit. It's just like one size. Oh. Anyway, I'm Christopher Clark. You can follow me at Christopher Clark Art. It's my Facebook and Instagram. And then, yeah, check out abendgallery.com. Click on the link there in your window to buy any of these 5 paintings today. And that's it. I do have I guess could mention the Patreon. I don't like to put that on there because that's more of my own personal thing, not Ben's. Patreon.com/AmazingArtExpo is my my new gallery project I'm starting. So if you'd like to support me on Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/AmazingArtExpo. And there's our Patreon, where we have all kinds of cool exclusive things for our members. So check that out. Awesome. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Christopher Clark, and I will see you next time.